Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass is incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Here we go. 56, Mike, 56. 9-9, sweetheart.
They'll set up to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
6-man. Check curls.
Hey, stand off. Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. It's right. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 56 yards on the ground.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Pick it up. Check it backer. What?
Fair.
Shift.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
The 16-yard line.
Got it.
Watching your five. Danny.
Now.
On 2nd and 12, Jones completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Come on,
Smooth. Big grip.
Off play action, Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Now Joe Mixon. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
Mixon. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. He'll look to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw. Those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mixon will try the right side. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one. Hey, let's get that ball, Dean. Let's get that ball right here. Check.
Look at me. Score. 5.
On first down, right. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I'm here.
Hard.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Catch made here by Campbell. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Paris Campbell, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
13 yards. First down, Green Bay.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Packers, nothing.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
At the 36-yard line.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the check.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Let's go.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
I'm coming.
He'll drop to throw. He finds his running back, Mixon. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Dexter Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
The Vikings take over.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
At the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Double tight, double tight. You got three down, three down.
Now Jones off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 54 yards.
First down.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Check three. Bang, 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 bang. SOS.
You're out. Ready.
And to give this time to the tailback. About 3 yards there to the 27. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Jones. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. With 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
On the double.
Let's go, D.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, check 24.
Rock it.
Check 26.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. Campbell making the catch. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll stop him with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey.
2nd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Quinnen Williams breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll run on 1st down. Right. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Leo!
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
We got this.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Sponge, sponge, sponge.
Hey, Sam on.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's right. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking for, and got his man complete. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
On 1st down, it's right, and tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch one, watch one. Hard. Back. Dude.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Check 4, check 4.
One, go. Snap.
It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Watch tight. Tight end right. 3 down. Watch 85.
They'll try and run for it. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the 32-yard line.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Mixon with a first down carry. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Check three, check three. Slam, slam, slam.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And this one's high, but not very far. This is taken at the 15. This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Mixon. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Second and goal at the 8-yard line.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, but now it's 3rd and goal.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone, but sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Here's Mixon. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And this one is right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but it's still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch one. Watch one. Down to lose one. Shit. Watch the
Short out.
Check 15. Check 15.
Go.
Mike one.
Go.
So we got man.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's right. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
Switch gears, switch gears. Watch the ship, watch the ship.
Hey, lock it.
Watch the ship.
Hit it.
Now a give, right side. Right. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Kill, kill, kill.
Rock it, rock it. Say go.
They'll run on first down. Right. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Check your hot read. Switch.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Run the mic. Watch one. Watch one.
Look, squeeze.
Deuce.
They run once more with Henderson. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Watch the screen. Check three.
Leo. Get it.
They'll try the left side. It's right. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Forced out to his left. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they run with Mixon. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They'll set up a throw.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And he loses the football a 2nd time. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So here we go, 45 seconds left, and things have boiled down to this onside kick. And the Vikings hands team able to recover, and that should just about do it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's right. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
You can't block me.
On 3rd down, right. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
On 1st down, right. And some room to work. 20. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
17. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother? And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Vikings, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.